That is right. Sorare have released a fantasy competition where you can win up to $500,000 in cash prizes. This is arguably one of the biggest ever fantasy prizes, with $50,000 available each week to all you Sorare players. This competition runs over 11 weeks from November the 25th to January 30th. And if you really want to improve your chances, managers can enter up to 3 lineups every game week. So let's talk through the competition and give you guys some tips about how to win these great prizes. So the Premier League competition is nearly upon us. It is November the 22nd today, so just 3 days until the competition kickstarts. And yeah, over the next 11 game weeks, there's going to be people winning a lot of really cool prizes, and yeah, a shed ton of money, which is always very, very nice. And yeah, today's video is just going to be talking through the competition as a whole, and then also going through some tactics which I think will be useful for everyone entering this competition as well. So for managers that do not know already, you must build your lineup with a 270 cap. That just means that the L15 of all of your 5 players can't go over 270, and you also get bonuses for both experience and also your captaincy. You can select 1 player each game week to be your captain. As you can see here in this little table, you need 4 cards in limited from the 23-24 season, 3 in rare, 3 in super rare, and 2 in unique. And then the cash prizes here in total: 135,000 in limited, 201,000 in rare, 95,000 in super rare, and 68,000 in unique. And that broken down into game weeks is 13,550 in limited, 20,000 in rare, 9,000 in super rare, and just under 7,000 in unique. And as I mentioned at the start of this video, if you really wanted to, you could then also enter this competition each game week 3 times, just to increase your chances of winning those great prizes. And as you can see from this further breakdown here, first place in limited wins £1,000, first place in rare wins 1,500, first place in super rare wins 2,000, and then first place in unique wins 3,000. Now, obviously, this competition is going to be very, very competitive, with a lot of people going after those cash prizes, but I do think there are some key tips to actually help you out and just give you that slight advantage. First up, and it sounds quite obvious, but it's really important, is to find players with great fixtures. If you look at someone like Joachim Andersen from Crystal Palace, over the next 3 game weeks, they play Luton and also Bournemouth, with Bournemouth being at home. And Crystal Palace are, I believe, the 4th or 5th best defense in the Premier League. And someone like Andersen, as you can see from his scores, he's perfectly capable of hitting those 90 to 100 scores. He's quite a big goal threat from set pieces, and obviously can get those points from clean sheets and all those other stats that go with that clean sheet as well. And unlike the other monthly competitions where you got the prizes at the end of the month, with the Premier League competition, you get those prizes every week. So when you've got players like Anderson who have those really good weekly fixtures, for instance, Luton in 427 and Bournemouth in 430, you really give yourself the best chance to win big on those singular game weeks. And whilst we're talking about Crystal Palace, my next tip is to think about stacking players. On those game weeks where you've got really, really good fixtures, you could also then combine Anderson with either Sam Johnson and just have that backline stack, or you can go for the full Crystal Palace stack. If it was me and I was fully stacking Crystal Palace, I would go with Sam Johnson, obviously, and Joachim Andersen. If you really think they're going to keep a clean sheet, then you can also then partner Anderson with either Gahey or Tyrick Mitchell. For me personally, to try and win as big as possible, I'd probably not choose Gahey and go for the midfield stack. I'd probably go for instance, Eze and then Elise, who's now back from injury. And then obviously up front, you could go for one of either Jordan Ayew or Odsonne Edouard. And by stacking teams in those really good fixtures, you give yourself the best possible chance to hit those big scores and win those big prizes. My last tip, which could be huge, is to keep an eye on injuries and suspensions. If we look at Crystal Palace here, Let's say, for instance, that Sam Johnson gets injured or gets a red card. One of these keepers is going to get some minutes. And with an L15 of 0, that can be very, very key for those cap modes, especially if you've got big hitting players like Rodri, Bruno Fernandes, Erling Haaland. If you can find those players that have low L15s, it really gives you a big advantage. So really keep an eye out for those injuries and suspensions. So just to recap, find those players with good fixtures. Think about stacking players either as a defensive stack or stacking the full team. And then last of all, keep an eye out for injuries and suspensions. I can guarantee that if you do all 3 of those things, you're giving yourself the best possible chance to win those big prizes. And if you're thinking about starting Sorare and you haven't already, if you go to the bio in this video, there'll be a quick link on there. If you click on that link and then sign up, you get a free card after you purchase your first 5 limiteds. Let me know if you'll be entering this 500k tournament, and also let me know which players you'll be using. As always, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video.